So you've probably heard that field inspectors make easy money. Well, today I'm going to break that down a little bit for you because the way we actually get paid may just surprise a lot of you. So stick around, and you know why, because you don't want to miss it. Okay, so first we need to understand field inspection rates. So let's get with the big question. How much do field inspectors actually make? Or shall I say, how much do you get paid per job? So residential insurance inspections can range anywhere from, I'm going to give you base rates, okay? Just simple base rates, because I know some of you probably will contest that you make less. Some of you may say you make more, but I'm just going to go with base rate based off what I've seen without adding any extras for travel or all of that stuff. Okay, so base rates for exterior into interior insurance field inspectors going to homes can range anywhere from 15 to probably up to around 45 bucks or so just to do those inspections. So we're looking at exterior anywhere from around 15 to 25 bucks at the most. We'll say 20, 15, 20 bucks. Interior may jump you from 25 up to 45, possibly $50, depending on the company and depending on what type of work you're doing when you go inside of a home, because there are several different types of inspections that you do when you go inside of a person's home, and each one pays different. So it's all based off what type of inspection you're doing. But this is, of course, for the scheduled inspections. Commercial or complex inspections can range anywhere from, let's say, 50 to 150. Some of them, which I know I've witnessed with some of you, and you know who you are, kudos to you, man. So I'm going to change the price from 50 up to about $200, $250 just to do a commercial or some sort of complex inspection. And of course, it depends on the property size, how big this location is, the documents that you have to turn in, of course, and the client themselves. And let me explain that to you, what I mean by that. So we're going to break this down just a little bit. When I say it depends on the size of the location, let's say me and you work for the same company, and you work in an area different from mine, and my company sends me to a location for a commercial building. And the same company you work for send you to one at a commercial building. The commercial buildings are the same type of business, but they are different in size. Mine may just be a simple little 2-story building, probably 6, 7 units inside of it. You work for the same company, and yours may be a 3, 4-story building with an attic, a basement, a pool, and all of this different type of stuff. Some clients, which are the carriers, some carriers, they will price their inspections based off of the size of the location that you're going to. Some of them do not. They will have a base rate, whether you're going to a small place that you can only run in for 5 or 6 minutes, or you're going to one that's going to take you 45 minutes. It'll be the same price. Trust me, you have no control over that. This is the name of the game. This is their stuff. You're just a contractor. So you have to be able to be flexible when it comes to that. But if I'm working in a place and it's a small place and you're working in a large place, and if that company decides that they're going to pay you more simply because they know that place is bigger, then I have no reason to complain because I work for the same company that you do. Has nothing to do with it. I ran in and out of that building in 7 minutes. What makes me think I should get $150 that you got when all they wanted to pay me was $60? So it's based off the clients and how much they're willing to pay, which is the carriers, how much they're willing to pay through the contractor for you to actually get out and do the work. And it's also based off your contracted company and the size of the location. Now, there are some specialty inspections that you can go out and do, and these inspections can range you anywhere from $75 up to about $300. It all depends. One of the carriers that I have to go out and take care of, they are requiring me to go to, let's say, a collision center or something like that, okay? The collision center that I go to at one point off of one company may not have but a little bitty space, a little community space that they don't do much. They just do actual work for people off the street. And then I can go to a collision center for some sort of company, and this collision center may take up the whole block. They may do all types of work, all through the insurance for when you have collisions, people who are bringing in specialty vehicles, all that stuff. So now they have paint booths. They may have 2 or 3 paint booths inside of their locations. These carriers are very nitpicky and particular on the things that they want you to achieve when you go there, as far as the images are concerned, and especially as far as the questionnaire. And everything has to be done precise. If it's not done precise, they will send it back, and then you will be going back. So with that being said, of course, they pay more money than the average place. Or let's say going into a barber shop. You get what I'm saying? But if you are working for a company that is only going to pay you based off of whatever they feel like the fee should be in your area, because the carriers could care less, then you may be making less for that inspection. That's why I always say, when you venture out to decide to do some work like this, always keep it in mind that you are not in competition with anyone. I know for a fact that I am not in competition with anyone. I know I have mentored someone, and I will call your name, but since I know that I did not ask you, I am going to be as respectful as I can and not do so. And this person went right on ahead up and found a way out of no way to end up contracted with these people who have him going to these locations, and he is making 2.5 per stop just on an inspection alone. And does he live in a city as large as mine? I don't think so. If you do, well, don't drop it in the comment section, because then they're going to know who you are. But I don't think he does. He just found his way around a loophole, and it worked out for him. That's why I always say, don't spend your time counting the pockets of other people and concerning yourself with what other people are making, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. They're not going to pay your bills, and you know you're not going to pay theirs. All we can do is focus in on what we're doing. And if we don't like the way things are set up, then, I don't know what to tell you, okay? Because I always like to go back to an example of a plumber. If a plumber comes to your house, and if a plumber has a set fee that he wants to charge, but then people are not calling him to come take care of things at their home or at their businesses because he charges too much, and he finds himself having to go lower on his fee just so he can get some work. If he don't like it, but he can't seem to get the prices raised because nobody's going to call him if he does, he's either going to continue to be a plumber or he's going to find something else to do. Okay. All right. So let's just move on. Now, sometimes you can knock out anywhere from 5 to 10. I've done 20, 25, even knocked a 30 on a Saturday, especially when it comes to exterior photos. And I know a lot of you are probably thinking, that is a lot of inspections. Is it? I didn't think that it was, and I'm going to tell you why. Because it was basic outside photos. Basic outside photos take no effort at all. As long as you're using a routing app of some sort so that you can get back and forth from one location to the next, it does not matter how many you're doing. What matters is when you get tired, then you just quit. Because guess what? You can do that when you work for yourself. When you get tired, you just quit. Go home. You've done enough for the day. But they're very, very quick and simple. Address verification, front, left, right, roof, back. If there's a detach. If there's a pool. A lot of places don't have pool. A lot of places don't have detached garage or sheds in the back. So if that's the case, you're jumping out of the car. Once again, address, front, back, left, right, a roof. How long does it take to snap those photos? Get in your car, hit your route, go to the next. It doesn't take long at all. And you can actually stack your money while you're doing that without even thinking. If you know how many you're going to do in that day, you probably, if you were like anything like me, you calculated it before you left the house anyway. You already knew, if I go get all of this done today, this is how much I'm going to make today. It's very easy to stack your money and make things work for yourself, especially if you're doing exterior photos. And I thought I'd bring that up because I had someone ask me, what do I recommend? Do I recommend commercial or do I recommend residential? Or does it even matter when it comes to scaling your money? And I did respond to you in the comment section, but I'm just going to bring that to the attention here because I think this is something that I probably just need to bring up now. When I started doing inspections, I was only doing home residential inspections. And I did that for a while. I stumbled upon commercial because I was going to move to commercial when I felt like I was ready, and I thought that I was going to have to do something else to get myself into the commercial side of things, but it just didn't work out that way because one of these recruiters called me over the phone and asked me, would I work for them? And then when they did that, of course, here we are today. So that's how I ended up actually doing commercial work. But when I started, I was just doing insurance inspections on the inside of homes. And I made more than enough money. Apparently I did, because it allowed me to let go of my 9 to 5. I had already long let go of my 9 to 5 before I started doing commercial work on a full-time basis. So now let's talk about timing. Timing meaning when you actually get paid. If you become a field inspector, when do you get paid? Because this question comes around all the time too, so I'm going to address it right now in this video. When do you get paid? Because for a lot of us, or maybe for a lot of you out here who are watching me now who are already doing inspections, you already know that your money is not going to hit your bank account immediately. So when do you get paid? There are some companies out here who treat this thing just like if you were a loan signer. So there's net pay. And when those happen, you know that you are definitely going to be waiting on a check. Some of them, of course, pay bi-weekly. Most of you are used to getting paid on a bi-weekly pay scale. And then you have those that will actually pay you weekly. So you may be working for a company that's actually paying you weekly to do these inspections. And then, of course, you know, you have those of you who are out here who are getting paid daily. Those are rare, but if you're doing them, 9 times out of 10, you are working through some sort of an app, or you are working for a company that will call you up when they need something really quick. And if you accept the work, as long as you get the work done, if you're not paid that day, it hits your account by the next day. And I have done that. So I know that there are companies out there that actually do that, but it's not as detailed as going to a location and doing inspections as what we're doing. It is more of one of those checking on some sort of collateral or things of that nature. Okay. But yeah, those are the different types of ways that you actually get paid when it comes to being a field inspector. So now let's talk about how you get paid. Of course, you know, the way that most people get paid nowadays is direct deposit. So they will direct deposit your money to you. How do they do that? When you sign up and sign a contract, of course, they give you all of your DocuSign paperwork that normally comes through the email. You receive your DocuSign paperwork in the email. You will fill out all of your paperwork, including your direct deposit slip. And then your paychecks will be direct deposit to you. And then you have some of those that are out there that are still old school. And the old school companies, what they do is they still send snail mail checks. And then, of course, you know that if you're using some sort of fly-by-night little app or whatever, which I'm pretty sure is rare, where they may even accept Cash App, PayPal, they'll send you your money through PayPal, Zelle, all of those different things. And then you even have some that have those online portals. And I know a lot of you are familiar with that because I definitely am. Those online portals where once you finish up your work, they actually want you to submit in invoices. Okay, we submit in invoices in order to get paid. You know what I did. Let me just move on. But the best way to go, of course, for any and all is, of course, your direct deposit. Which brings me really quick to just make sure that I just mentioned this. So, of course, if you are looking for a new way to bank, I use Chime. So let's talk about that really quick. I have been using Chime for the past 4 years for my businesses. They have a checking account, a 3.5% yielding savings account, and they have a credit builder account. Of course, you get all three when you sign up. I use the checking account for, of course, once again, all of my businesses. The credit builder I still use today for things like my Netflix and my Hulu. And of course, the reason why I do this is because you're able to use the credit builder account without having to go in any sort of debt because you're actually using your own money. So all I do is transfer money from my checking account into my credit builder account, and I make sure there's enough in there all the time to pay for these auto pay bills. And every month that things are paid, when it's time to report to the credit bureau, it's on my credit. Okay? High yielding savings account. Pay yourself first. If you guys are not doing that, start doing it. I don't even have a serious habit of it, but I do today, starting officially now. Pay yourself first. Put you some money into the savings account. You can watch all of your accounts all in one setting on your phone or on the computer if you choose to. Just go to chime.com and sign up. I'm going to put the link down here at the bottom. Use my referral code and you get your first $100 free immediately after you sign up for the checking account. And one more thing. I had once upon a time put inside of the community tab a poll for people to respond if they wanted to actually come up onto the platform and discuss their field inspection journey or their leaving their 9-to-5 journey, whatever it may be. And I had several people who put in a comment for their selection that they would like to do it, but not too many people hit the email. So I'm bringing it up today in the end of this video. If you would like to come up and Zoom with me side by side so that we can talk about your journey and you can talk and let people know what has been going on with you, please feel free to go into my email, DeetraMichelle@gmail.com, and let me know that you would like to come up onto the platform. First of all, I do want to say that it is an open platform. It will be Zoom, and do not sign up. Do not come into my email if you know you don't want to turn your camera on, because all the cameras are going to be on. DeetraMichelle@gmail.com, putting it on the screen as well. And I look forward to seeing who signs up and who's bold enough to come sit side by side. But in the meantime, you guys know what to do. Like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, because you know I'll be bringing you back something later. Thank you guys so much for watching. And enjoy the rest of your day.